All right, so this is our crypto charting app right here. We can either choose Bitcoin or Ethereum and see the different chart. So right now we're on Bitcoin. We can get the day view, we can get the week view, the month view, and the year view. And then the same thing with Ethereum. We can get the week, the month, whatever we want right there. All right, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to be building out a crypto charting app in React Native. So basically we're just going to track, I think we'll just do Bitcoin and Ethereum, but just kind of have the different price charts over time displayed. So we'll do kind of a day, week, month, and year time period and show you the different charts for that. So let's get right into it. So I'm in my desktop right here. And then I'm just gonna, we need Expo. So make sure you go and have that installed. I'll leave a link in the description for that if you want. So we're gonna go like this and say Expo init. All right, and then we'll just call it crypto, we'll say what, dash chart, like this. And you can see here you have a few options with Expo. We're gonna do it pretty minimal here. So we'll just come down and we'll just do the minimal one, and then let it install. All right, so once that's all done installing, we can cd into it. So cd into crypto dash chart. And then there's two other dependencies that we want to add here. The first one, I'll just show you the Victory native right here. So this is the charting library we're going to use. It's pretty basic. It's for both React and React Native 2. They have packages for both, so check that out if you like. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then we're also going to be using this CoinGecko API, but I'll go over that in a sec, I guess, as well. And inside here, we want to add a couple more things. So that Victory native chart library, as well as we're going to use Axios. So in order to do this, we're just going to go yarn add like this, and we'll say Axios Victory dash native like that. And once those are done, we're just going to open this up in VS Code. All right, so this is our basic package. We're going to do all our work in this app.js file right here. So don't worry about anything else. You got our package.json right here, and we have Axios, as you can see right here, along with Victory Native. So that all looks good. Now we can actually close this up. Let's open up the app.js and then close up this side tab here. And we'll open up an integrated terminal here. And we just want to make sure everything is running okay before we start coding anything up. So let's come in and we're just going to say Expo like this and start. And then from here, we just want to run this. We're going to go on the iOS simulator. So we'll run that, and that will open up the simulator for us. All right, so that looks like it's working fine. Everything opens up okay. So let's head back to our app here. All right, so we can close this out for now. And let's just get into coding some of this up. So we're gonna need to bring in a few things. So let's start by importing some stuff. So let's import Axios from Axios. And then we'll also import, and it'll be called Victory. This is how Victory, what is it called? Victory line down here from Victory. So from Victory, make sure we have from Victory native here, like this. Okay, and I think that's gonna be it for now. We'll also need use state and use effect. We can just bring those in after. So let's start by adding a little bit of state here. So we're going to say const, and we'll say data. And this is going to come from that charting API library, or not charting API, but that CoinGecko API over here. So this library. So as you can see, we can hit these different endpoints, and we will get data from that back. And this is a kind of a nice little GUI here you can use to test things out also. So there'll be a link in the description to this as well. So that's good. Let's head back here. And so we're going to say const data, and then also set data like that. And that's going to be equal to use state like that, and bring that in. And we're just going to leave use state blank to start. And then we'll also say const, and we'll say the coin, because we're going to either use Ethereum or Bitcoin, depending on which button you press. So we're going to say that, and then set coin like this. And when they come initially to the app, we're just going to set it to Bitcoin like that. And then we'll have also kind of a time period. So let's say const, and we'll say period like that, and set period. And then we'll say equals use state once again. And for this, we'll start our setting value, our first value to 30, so 30 days, because it's done in days, so 1 month. And then let's just start by seeing if we can fetch some data. So in order to fetch the data, when they first come to the app, we're going to use a use effect hook here. So let's say this, and we'll say use effect like this, and that will bring it in hopefully. Yeah, use effect is brought in now. And then in order to use this, we're going to go like this, and we'll do an arrow function here. And inside of that, we can open up some brackets. And then we're going to create a function here called getData, like that. And then we're going to come down here, and we want this to update and refetch every time the coin is updated or the period is updated also. So those are the times it's going to be called. Now this all looks good, but we still don't have that get data function. So this is where we're going to hit the API. So let's we'll come up above. I guess yeah, we'll go below this, and we'll do an async function here, and we'll just call it what? Get data. It's called. We already decided that, and then come in here, and inside of this, we're going to have a try catch block. So let's do a try catch block like this. And then inside of the try here, we're going to go const, and we'll get a response. And then we'll go that is equal to await. And then this is where we'll use Axios. So this is our fetching library. And we'll say axios.get. And then inside of here is where we're going to hit that API. Now I'm just going to paste in this API. All right, so this is the API endpoint we're going to hit. Again, you can get that if you go back here and search it yourself, or you can just copy it from mine. So it's api.coingecko.com/whatever. Now, the important things we're going to be using are we're passing in Bitcoin here and the user days 30. Now, this is hard-coded in right now, but we're using backticks, so we can actually customize this from our state. So instead of Bitcoin here, I can take that out, and I can go $ curly braces, and instead of that, I want to put in coin. Make sure we close that off, and then instead of this 30 over here, I want to add the period. So again, same $ curly braces, and we'll say period, like that. Now, this is our entire string API route that we want to hit. Okay, so that is looking pretty good. So with this victory charting library, we actually need the data in a little bit of a different format. So we're going to need to reformat this data a little bit. So let's do that now. So we'll say const, and we'll say format data like this. And then that's going to equal to this response above. And we're going to say .data.prices, because we want to get the prices. And then we're going to map over all the prices, and we're going to pass in a function here. And we'll just say for each item in that. And then for this, we're going to return. And we will return, it takes for this charting library, it's going to take X and a Y coordinate. So we'll say X, and that is going to be I of 0 here. And then Y here, this is going to be I of 1. And this is going to reformat the data so it fits the API or the charting library that we are using. Okay, so that is good. Now our data is formatted, but now we want to actually set it. So let's come down here, and we'll say set our data right like that. and we'll say to format data. So we're going to set our data in state to this formatted data that we just created right here. Okay, so that's looking good. If there's an error, now let's just finish this off. So we're just going to console.log that error like that, and that's all we'll do with it. All right, so hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Again, we're just using this use effect hook, and then we are calling this get data, which is just going to use a try catch to hit this API endpoint right here. And then we're going to reformat this data so it fits the format we need for this charting library. Okay, and then finally, we are just going to set that in state. So that is looking great. Now, I think that we've done all that. It's time to actually start building the structure of our view right here. So let's come down here, and we can get rid of these two things like this. And let's just come in here. And the first thing, let's just add a title here. So we got to bring in text here. And inside of this text, we're just going to say, we'll say coin chart like that. And I'm going to add some styles here. So let's just go style is equal to, and we'll say styles dot, and we'll just call that header. And I'll probably just paste in some styles after this to make it look okay. All right, so then below that, we're going to want to add a view here. Okay, and we will say in this side of this view here, we will have a text here, but let's actually add some styles onto this as well. So we'll say style is equal to styles dot what, coins we'll call it. And this is going to be kind of the coins view here. And then inside of here, we're going to have a couple different text things here. One for Bitcoin and one for Ethereum. So we'll start with Bitcoin and just say text like this. And then here, let's close that off. And then inside of this text here, we'll say Bitcoin like that. And then we're going to have an on press on this text, but we'll also have some styles. So let's add those styles right now. So style is equal to, and here we're actually going to do an array of styles in here. So we're going to come like this, and we'll say styles dot title, which we'll add below again. And then we'll do a comma here. And then we're going to do a ternary operation here. So what we want to do is when the Bitcoin text is selected, we're going to underline it just to show that it's selected. So in order to do that, we're going to say coin when that is equal to Bitcoin like that. And then we'll do this ternary here. And then we'll say styles dot underline, which we'll add below. And then otherwise, we'll just say null. So there'll be no styles. So hopefully this is clear. This is kind of cool that you can do an array of styles within here in your React Native apps. But we're going to say when this coin, our state of coin is set to Bitcoin, then we're going to have an underline, and otherwise we will have null. And then finally, let's come down here, and we can set in here. We're going to have our on press here. And you can do an on press on a text node. So we're going to go like this, and we will do an arrow function here, and we'll say set coin. And here we're going to say Bitcoin, because when we press on the Bitcoin, we want to set it and show the Bitcoin chart like this. Now, this is looking good. Let's copy this text down, and we don't have to change much. We want to change this to Ethereum like this. Same thing, and then Ethereum like that. All right, so that is good for that top bit. Now, let's get into this actual charting side of it. So if we come, we'll come below here. Let's scroll up a little bit and give ourselves a bit of room. Come down below here, and now we're going to actually add that charting library. So we're just going to have a pretty simple line chart here. So we're going to say victory line like that. And then within this, we're going to come down here and add some style. So that style is going to equal data like this. And then we're going to pass in the stroke here, which is the stroke color and width. And that's going to be equal to 0, 0, 0, which is going to be black. And then below that, we'll have the stroke width. like this, and that will be 2, like so. Okay, so that is looking good. And now we can come down outside of this and add a few more things. So we'll have a width, and that will be equal to 400, not 4,000. And we'll have the height, and that will be equal to 200. And then finally here, we're going to say data, and that is going to be equal to the data that we get. Now make sure you close that off right there, and we can go ahead and save that and let it reformat for us. And we're getting a little error in our module here. It says React Native SVG cannot be found. Now in the docs, I believe it said if we're running with Expo, we don't need it here, but I guess we'll just go ahead and add that anyways. So let's come back over and open up a terminal here, add a new thing right here, and then come in and just say yarn add, and we'll paste in React Native SVG. So make sure we have that. All right, so that looks good. We can exit out of that and close this up for now. And if we come back over, all right, so this is what we're looking with at right now is the Bitcoin chart. And again, we need to add a bunch of stuff still. Let's actually come through right now. I had to restart just in case it's not working for you. Often you just got to restart Expo. It's just how it goes. So we got our styles right now, but let's come in and we're just gonna paste these in. So I'll go through these a little bit so you can see, but this will be in the link in the description to the repo if you just want to add these after. We just have some background colors, some alignment, some different text styles, some different styling for different stuff. Again, this underline like so. So that's all we have for that. Yeah, I would just go ahead and copy that down if you are interested. All right, so with the styling here, it looks a little bit better. We can switch back and forth. Again, looks like I have Bitcoin for both right now, so let's come up and change that. Where is that? That's in our texts right here. Oh yeah, I have Bitcoin for this, so this should be Ethereum. We can see it highlights, it underlines whatever one you're on. Okay, so that is good. Now, what we want right now is some different buttons rather on the bottom here where we can change the actual date of this chart. So right now this is a 30-day chart. We want to be able to change that to whatever we want. So let's come back over. Under this victory line right here, I think is where we're going to do everything. So we're going to come below here and let's open up a little more room here. And we're going to add a different view here. So we'll say view, and we're gonna have a style here, and that's gonna be equal to styles.time wrapper, which we've already added. Come in here and we'll start by saying text like this, and we'll add some style here. And again, we're gonna do one of these arrays of different styles. So we'll say styles.time to start, and then we're gonna do another ternary like we did above. So if the period, if that is equal to 1, so if it's 1 day, then we're going to do a question mark there and then say styles.underline again, and otherwise we'll say null like that, and that is all we need for that. And then what we'll do is also an on press here, so very similar to what we did above with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but this time just for each of these texts. So we'll go like this and we'll say set period. And for the period, we're just going to set it to a number. So, sorry, come back over here, and we'll set that to 1 like that. And then finally, we just want to close that out. And then inside of this, we'll just say 1 day like that. Okay, so that's all we're going to do, and it's going to be the exact same thing for all these different ones. So let's copy this text down 3 more times. And then we just want to change the different periods. So instead of 1 here, we're going to have 7, because that 7 days is going to be 1 week. And then we'll set again this to 7. And then finally, we'll say 1 week here, like that. Okay, and same thing here, and we'll go 30 and 30. And then again, we'll say 1 month. And then finally below here, we're going to say 1 year. like that. And we'll say 365. And we're just doing, obviously with 30 and 365, we're just doing the rough estimate. We're not doing leap years here. 365. Okay, so that is looking good. And we have our same styles for all of these, so they should look the same. So let's go ahead and save that and then come back over. And you can see here we have the different time periods now. So we can go Bitcoin, we can go Ethereum, we can go the day chart, which looks like this. Day chart on Ethereum, changes it up. The week, Bitcoin, you see how it's going anyways. So that is going to be our full crypto kind of charting app we're doing here. Hopefully that is looking pretty good. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.